Hi guys, and welcome to the Nordic Stitches podcast. This is episode 14, I believe. Last episode I didn't specify what number it was, I think, but this is episode 14. It's been a couple of weeks, as I said, and I don't have too much to podcast about today, so this should be a quick one. Everything I talk about in the podcast will be linked, and you will find links to the show notes and everything else in the description box below this video. Welcome to new and returning viewers. I appreciate that you're taking time out of your day and spending it here with me. Every episode of the Nordic Stitches podcast was from the previous episode and out for as long as I podcast is now time stamped, so you can click on the time to go to the section you are interested in, and if you're interested in the whole thing, thank you. Okay, let's just if you see me looking to the sides, it's because I have my laptop here and my show notes. Okay, so admin corner. There's two CALs I want to mention. One is the resolutions CAL for 2017. I've been talking a lot about this. The basics are that I'm hosting this in my Ravelry group, by the way. And the basics of that CAL is that you enter as many months, as many patterns as there are months left of the year. So one pattern a month a year. Doesn't matter when you enter. You can come in October for all I care. Just join in on the fun. It's not meant to be serious, but there is monthly prizes. So you will have seen a picture of the skein gifted by Amelia. If you are a maker watching this and you want to participate to the prize pool in any CALs that I mentioned, please feel free to PM me and let me know. The second CAL is a kofta along. A kofta is a little bit like this. It's a knitted jacket cardigan pullover. And the thing is that a kofta is a lot of stranded knitting, so a lot of color work, and it's very typical Norwegian, Scandinavian. We love wearing this, as Amelia said in her latest podcast. I just had to laugh. We wear this when we go hiking in the mountains in Easter to eat oranges. Sorry. That's just too funny because we do that. We do that all year. We love to hike here. We are a very outdoorsy people, but especially for Easter, if it's bad weather during Easter, everybody's gonna complain. So yeah, that's the kofta along. We allow jackets or, open like this, both with zippers and buttons, and pullovers. There's a limit to how little pattern you can have in your kofta, and this is one of the variations of the smallest amount of pattern you can enter with. If you're in doubt, just contact Amelia or me. And yeah, there are threads in both our groups, and you are of course allowed to participate in both. We highly encourage double dipping. The prices are not determined yet. I will go yarn shopping next week, which by the way will be a vlog. But yeah, I haven't decided. I will get there. I will be sure to post pictures in social media and in the Ravelry group, so make sure to stay tuned in the social media. Okay, let's jump over to FOs, finished objects. I'm wearing one of them. Mina from the Knitting Expat podcast here on YouTube hosted a mystery along, which was super fun. I've been wanting to participate in mystery alongs for a very long while now, but I just haven't had the time. And then she came with her mystery along. I'm actually wearing it. And it was a schlanket. Let me go. So this is how mine came out. It has a wingspan on, okay, so I'm 160 centimeters, so maybe it's 180 centimeters, I don't know. Approximately 180 centimeters. And she came out with clues for this over 4 weeks. And I ordered yarn for this early January, but something happened with my order, so it didn't get registered. And I'm not going to wear this again because for the first time in forever, it's very warm inside. So that was the Schlanket, and I used Drops Lima. These are a part of the acquisitions as well. And the colors are, every detail of every project I ever make will from now on be on the Ravelry page. I wasn't too good on that last year, but this year I promise I will be better. Color 1, I guess, just 0100. And color 0206. And color 0619. Now, you will see a lot more nature colored and pastels from me this year. I mostly knit for me, and hopefully also a little bit for charity. If my camera is really shaking, I'm sorry. Yeah, there will probably be a note on the already have been a note on the screen if that was the case. Anyway, you will be seeing a lot more natured colored and tonals instead of very variegated yarn and stuff like that from me, because that is what I prefer working with. That is what I prefer for myself, and I don't have too many people to knit for, so I knit more than I can gift. So I will have this box this year that I put stuff in that I'm not going to keep for myself, not going to sell, or not going to gift away to people that I know. And in that box I will just, you know, gather everything, and then at the end of the year I will just donate it to charity. So yeah, and nature colors goes with everything for everybody, so I'm figuring that's a good way to go. I knit the Schlanket on, and I really do like these needles because they have a very sharp tip. It's called Hverdagspinnen. It's from the Store Alpaca. I don't use their yarns, but I really do like the needles. I knit the Schlanket on 4mm needles, and I like the cord because it's sturdy. When I knit something with a lot of, when I knit something that's big, I really want a cord that's going to hold it together, and this one is very thick. And this is the shorter one that I started with, and the tip on these are, short ones aren't too sharp, but for the 100cm one, yeah, so the short one is, I think it's 40 centimeters, yeah, 40 centimeters, and then there's the 100cm one, and look at that tip, that is pretty sharp. And these are, well, they were on the cheaper side of the knitting needles, so I was very, very happy with the tips on these ones, so I'm going to continue buying these and zing. So I used that to knit them up. And then there's the, I think this is the FO for this time because, well, it's been 2 weeks. I, as so many other podcasters, fell completely head over heels with the Mercury socks. How pretty. The yarn I used for this was gifted to me by Shauna Stitches. She has her Shauna Stitches podcast here on YouTube. The yarn I used, as I said, was gifted to me by Shauna. It's Yarn Cafe Creations. They also have a podcast here on YouTube, and I say they because first she started out by herself, and then she included her daughter, and it too is a very wonderful podcast that I've subscribed to. So yeah, the colorway for the blue and white one here is Waves, and the brown that I used for the cuff, heel, and toe are Sandflen, and those I used 2.5mm needles, and I adapted the pattern to fit my 56 stitch sock. This is going into my box of socks. I have yet to buy the box. So I'm just going to put them there. I have two pairs of socks for the box of socks. Ding, ding, ding. pretty colors. You can tell it's winter. So, okay. That was the FOs. Now let's jump over to the UFO section. Okay, UFO. Because there's only one that I can show you anyway. I have a lot of UFOs, but they're secret. So, welcome to the world of a knitting designer. I'm not going to show you everything all the time. But I can tell you it's very exciting. As I said, me and Amelia from the Knitting Arctic Knitting podcast are hosting a kofta along. This is a kofta. This has been a favorite of mine since before I was 10 years old. I'm 30 now, so it's been more than 20 years. It's about freaking time that I get this kofta. Just putting it out there. It has, over the years, had a few variations added. Like this one that I really love. It's a pullover with ribbed arms and yoke up here and just a pattern on top. I have made a few of those. And here. So I'm making a kofta like this. I was debating on that, whether or not I would have a rounded yoke or not. But you know what? I really want a traditional kofta that I can use for shoveling snow and handling the firewood, and just a real working kofta that I can use when I'm outside doing stuff on the property. So I want this jacket or this type of kofta, but I'm going to use the pattern for this one. So I'm just adjusting to the stitches, and I'm seeing it as I knit. So yeah, that's the South of Stars kofta, and I love it. Here's another picture of the kofta. It has been a favorite of mine so many years. So yeah, I'm knitting myself a South of Stars kofta. And again, I did good. I bought colors that I really want. Oh! I made a project bag. There's a 500 subscribers giveaway going on in the Ravelry Group if you want to check it out. You can win a bag like this. The only thing I'm going to say that it's going to have the feather pattern like this. And it will have an inside pocket. So the inside is, for me, stars on yellow fabric, and the pocket inside has the feather fabric on the outside and the starry fabric on the inside. I hope you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, so yesterday I had about maybe 13 to 15 centimeters to go on the top of the arm, because this is set-in sleeves, so you just knit the arms and the yoke separately, and then you just sew in the arms. And then I figured, you know what, this doesn't look very weird, very good, and I'm a quick knitter, so it's not a big deal, but I had to frog the entire thing. So today I'm this far. So this is what it's looking like right now. Oh my goodness, it is so pretty on camera. It's so much more prettier on camera. So this is how far I am. I'm adjusting a little bit to the pattern as well, because here they wanted me to knit a dark background with white diamond shapes, and I didn't want that. The only section I want that to happen is this section right here on the yoke. That is the only part where I want that to actually happen. The rest, because that way that part really stands out. So yeah, I'm not going to say what size I'm knitting, because I'm just knitting this. I can't explain it. I get a feel for what's right and I go with it, and yesterday I missed, but today it's okay. So it was a condom on my arm. No joke, it was that tight. It's just not okay. So today it's still a little fitted, but there's actually space in here. Yesterday there was just like It was not good. So that is what that's looking like today. I'm using a 1x1 rib. And I did that on 2.5mm needles. And then I switched to 3mm needles to do the rest. And I'm using Zing. The only Zing needle I'm missing is the 2.5 needle to do the ribbing on the yoke. I think this is Addy. I have no idea. I usually don't save the wrappings, I just put them in the folder. So yeah, that is how far I am. Yesterday I was about here-ish. So yeah, I think the pattern is coming out wonderfully in this yarn. It is a wool alpaca mix. I'm about to name drop another podcaster, by the way. She's Norwegian, lives in London. Her name is Eli. She hosts the Skein Knits podcast here on YouTube. She's also wonderful. And she said that she didn't like knitting stranded knitting in alpaca. But this is less alpaca than wool, so I think it's going to be okay. And as far as I can tell, this is going to behave exactly as previous yarns I've used. So no big shockers there. Of course, I haven't washed it because I didn't I didn't swatch. Anyway, it's, what is it? 65% wool and 35% alpaca, so I think it's good. I think it's good. So yeah, that's my, it is the one and only UFO for this week. Acquisitions. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of acquisitions this week. I already showed you these that I used for the blanket that Mina designed. I may have misread the pattern, so I bought 5 of each, which already would have been enough for 2 blankets. But then I figured, you know what? I might just need a couple more. I'm just going to buy 1 more of each color. So I did that. Lucky for me, they're in the same dye lot, so I can use them together. So I had 6 of each. And I don't know what to do with the rest. Well, I sort of have an idea. I want to make some beanies and stuff like that. And I really like this yarn. As soon as I grabbed a hold of it when it came in the mail and I started knitting with it, it just became one of my favorite yarns. So, love them. I bought 6 of each color, so 6, 12, 18. Yeah, that's 18 skeins, is it? My mathematical skills are amazing. Yeah, 18 skeins of drops limo, so 6 of each. And then I ordered several, but the brown ones came. And I managed to press keychain instead of hairbands because I want pom-poms on my beanies. Ding, ding, can you see that? So yeah, I snapped off the keychain and I'm left with a hairband. That's what I wanted. Ding, ding, ding. I think this is very beautiful. And of course it's fake fur because I do not like it when people use real fur. I am all for the fake ones. So 2 of those. I know some people don't like that, but come on, it's a good sound. And then there's the Lanitium Ex Machina. Okay, so this is Finnish, so it's probably more something like an, okay. Sorry. Before I even try. Lanitium Ex Machina. Probably not. Anyway, I'm seeing this in more clear daylight now because the sun is back. Well, not today because it's forecast or overcast, but it's a lot more light here today. And I have to say, I'm more impressed with this now than I was when I first got it, because when it first came here, it was so dark outside and everywhere else that it looked brown. But it's not. It really is pretty. I can see this in a fall shawl, don't you? Wow, even prettier on camera. That's cool. Cool. So yeah, glitter sock, 70, 25, 5, superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. The colorway is Hound. 100 gram hank, 400 meters, 435 yards to 3.5 ounces. And there's also a website here where you can go shop your own yarn like this. I ordered it the Christmas week, I think, and it didn't come here until last week. So it took almost 3 weeks to get here. So yeah, here's their card. Maybe I can take it out of, it's already taken out. They have very many pretty colors like this. I might just go back. Wow, look at that purple. Oh my goodness. Doesn't really smell like yarn. Oh, I just love snuggling yarn, don't you? That sounded very creepy. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. Okay, so that was the acquisitions for this week. Other stuff I've done. Cleaned up my minis. So I'm left with these that I can, so there are 20 grams in each of these. And I can use these for cuff seals and toes and stuff like that. Whenever I'm in need of a contrasting something. And in this bag, I have minis. So I have some 10 grams and some 5 grams. So it's all good. It's a bag full of minis. Pretty. So I've done that. Sat down with the kitchen scale yesterday and I just wound up minis. And I tagged them. So inside every mini, there is a note. I think I have stellina on my nose. So yeah, that's how it looks. This is leftovers from the waves from the Mercury socks. Very pretty. I think that's it, people. I'm going to have to check out my... Nope. We have one more section left. Q&A. This week I have 4 questions from one viewer. Karnews, Karnewes, on Ravelry. Ask me in the Ravelry group. You can ask me questions in there as well. If you have anything you want to ask me about my projects, where I live, me, go into the group and ask, and I will answer on the podcast. If you don't want it answered on the podcast, just make sure that you let me know as in that same spot, and I will answer you in the group. So she writes, I loved your little storm vlog today. It wasn't a storm, it really was a storm. I just go outside when it's a little calmer. My questions are about how you heat your home. 1. Do you have radiators running off your log burner? 2. Can you cook on top of the wood fire? 3. What temperature is your home? I noticed you were wearing a summery top but a blanket on your knees. And 4. Is your home well insulated in the walls and windows? I hope you don't mind these questions. In Portugal, winters are short, but homes are not built for the cold. So it is common for people to sit close to an open fireplace as we do, and the rest of the home can be very cold and even damp. At best, oil-filled radiators or freestanding gas fires provide backup. Right now, it has got icy, about -3 degrees, and I am cold. Well, I'm sorry you feel that cold, and I can imagine in Portugal that that is pretty cold. So radiators running off my log burner. No, I have never heard of that. It's just a log burner. It's basically just a wood stove. So I put fire in there, I light a fire, I put wood in, and it just, you know, heats up the house. I close the doors, open the ventilation just a little, and that keeps the whole house warm-ish. I can cook on top of it. The more modern ones are not made so that you can cook on them, but a lot of them back in the days did have that option, because if the electricity goes out for days, you really want to have a wood stove, and especially one that you can cook on, but the more modern ones do not have that option. Also, mine is actually made more to fire with coals than wood, which I do not agree with, but it's the only option that I have, so I use both coal and wood in there. What temperature is your home? Yeah, I was wearing a summery top that day, but the air in the house can get warm, but there's a basement underneath here, and I'm just going to include the insulations questions for you here, answer for you here, because it's not. It is very poorly insulated. I'm sure it was at some point very well insulated, but this house was built in the late 40s, 1940s, and something tells me they haven't done anything with the isolation since, because between the basement and the first floor, it's icy cold on the floor. I wear 2 to 3 pairs of socks, including one very thick woolen pair of socks, and I'm still cold on my feet. So I have a shelf under the table. It's an IKEA table, lock table, and I have a shelf under there that I can rest my feet on instead of having them on the floor. And also I need to make sure that my feet stay warm, so I need that blanket, because let's just say that I struggled with fibromyalgia, and it doesn't like getting cold. So you can imagine winters here being long and unstable, but yeah, so that is why I am sitting with a summery top on me and a blanket. It's just because the air may feel warmer, but the second you put your feet on the floor, you're gonna start freezing, so it doesn't really help with a log burner. The floor stays as cold anyway, because the insulation between the floors are, guessing, not there. So yeah, I do not mind the questions at all. In fact, I welcome them. Thank you so much for showing an interest in me, how I live, and my life. I really do think it's weird and it's funny, because yeah, I guess things that I take for granted are something that other people put a question mark to, and I think that's great. It just shows how much the world varies from country to country. So thank you, Kernuris, for your question, and I'm sorry that I totally butchered your name, because I am sure that I did just that. So yeah, I think that was it, guys. Wow, 2 weeks of not podcasting, and that was it. So what can I say? It's all just a bunch of secrets. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will include footage from the last few weeks, not too much, because it's not been very iPhone friendly weather out here, but I have some footage that I want to include at the end, because in the 500 subscribers giveaway, I wanted you, it's still going, I'm not closing that until next week, so you can still enter. I ask you what made you subscribe to this channel, which brings me to, if you like this video, hit like, and if you like what you see, click subscribe. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure that it's a kind of a sneak attack on you guys, because I kind of want to know what you guys want to see more of, and so far I I got a feeling that you're kind of pretty happy with what I've brought you so far. Especially the one thing that really keeps coming back at me in the answers in that thread is the vlogs and the footage from the outside. So it is, as the weather gets better, I hope it does soon, because it's been pretty bad for pretty long. It will start, I may even start making only vlogs on that, hiking vlogs. So let me know what you think about that, either in the comments here or on the Ravelry. So yeah. And in case you're wondering, because I'm just sitting here rubbing my hands, this lotion, you guys, is amazing. Vaseline, hand and nails. Intensive care, healthy hands, stronger nails. It is the one and only hand lotion I know for a fact actually works. Because my nails break super easy during winter. And they don't when I use this. Just saying. And it just goes into the skin very fast and smells amazing and lasts for a while. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Whoever you are, wherever you are, be kind, be good, and have a very nice day. Bye. Also, you will find timestamping. Mina from the Knitting Expat. I expect that from you. Mina.